Most people die full of dreams. Don't be one of them. Most people will die full of dreams. Ideas they never chased. Stories they never told. Businesses they never started. Conversations they never had. Apologies they never made. Forgiveness they never gave. They'll leave this world not because they ran out of time, but because they ran out of courage. And if you're not careful, you might become one of them. We all have that one dream, the one we promised we'd chase. But life, it has a way of making us forget. This story is called Aaliya's Regret. The story of a man who never failed. He just slowly let go. Let me tell you about Aaliya. He was 41 when he sat on the edge of his hotel bed, staring at the ceiling. A successful corporate job, 6 figures, a company car. From the outside, people said he made it. But inside, Aaliya felt like a fraud, because 20 years ago, he had a dream. He wanted to start a mentorship school for underprivileged youth. He talked about it every night with his college roommate. He had the plans, the passion, the purpose. But after graduation, life got busy. First came the internship, then the job offer, then the wedding, the mortgage, the promotions. Every time the dream knocked, he told it, "Not now." And now, 20 years later, the dream was gone. He wasn't too old, he wasn't too late, but something inside him had dried up. The voice that once screamed, "Let's do it," now whispered, "What's the point?" Aaliya never failed. He just slowly buried his own calling beneath layers of responsibility and fear. He died a hero in his company, but a stranger to his own soul. You don't lose your dream overnight. You lose it one quiet compromise at a time. This isn't just a story. It's a wake-up call for the part of you that still remembers what you were meant to become, before comfort silenced the calling. Let this reflection take you there. We don't lose our dreams in one moment. We lose them in 1,000 quiet compromises. You don't wake up one day uninspired. You drift into it, one maybe later at a time. Most people don't quit because they're weak. They quit because no one taught them how to stay faithful to an invisible future. We've been trained to chase security, to play safe, to follow the script, but dreams don't live in safety. They live in the unknown, in risk, in doubt, in uncomfortable choices no one claps for. If you want to live fully, you have to die to your comfort. That's the trade. Our second story is about a woman named Aaliya, and how one painful realization changed everything. This one's called Aaliya's Awakening. Some people don't break down, they quietly fade away. Aaliya had love, a home, a family, but somewhere along the way, she lost herself, until one quote shook her to the core and reignited a fire she thought was gone forever. Aaliya was a stay-at-home mom with 2 daughters. She had a beautiful home, a loving husband, and every reason to be grateful. But every night, after putting the kids to sleep, she'd sit quietly and feel like something was missing. A tiny voice would whisper, "Is this all you were meant for?" Aaliya used to write poetry in college. She had a gift. Her professors said she could publish her own book, but she never did, because life, again, got busy. And now years later, she was losing herself in everyone else's needs. She wasn't bitter, she was numb, until one evening, she came across a quote that hit her in the chest. "The graveyard is the richest place on earth, because it's full of unexecuted dreams." She closed her eyes and cried, not because her life was bad, but because she realized she had let her fire die quietly, and no one noticed, not even her. That night, she wrote a poem, then another. Then she started posting them online anonymously. Months later, a publisher reached out. Her first book became a #1 bestseller in her category. But that wasn't the win. The real victory was that she chose to stop dying quietly and started living loudly. And if Aaliya's story moved you, this next thought might stay with you forever. Your soul is begging you to do the thing you're scared of, not because it's easy, but because it's who you are. And most people will never get there because they're addicted to being liked. You're not afraid to fail. You're afraid to succeed and lose the people who only knew the old version of you. But hear me. The price of becoming who you were meant to be is often losing who you were trained to be. This world doesn't need another perfect person. It needs someone brave enough to be fully alive. And no one can give you that permission except you. You have 2 lives. The first begins when you're born. The second begins when you realize you only get one. There's a war happening inside you between who you are and who you could be. Every excuse you've made, every delay, every "I'm not ready" is just fear wearing a nice suit. You don't need more time. You need more courage. The clock is ticking, and whether you act or not, it's still moving. So let me ask you something. If not now, when? If not you, who? If you're waiting for the right moment, you're already losing. Story number 3. Daniel didn't hit rock bottom with a crash. He just slowly faded into a life that looked fine but felt empty. Daniel had always played it smart. He got the degree, followed the rules, took the stable job, bought the house. At 35, he had no enemies, no drama, no danger, and absolutely no fire. He worked in IT, sat at a desk 8 hours a day, every day, for the last 11 years. He wasn't unhappy, but he definitely wasn't alive. His real dream, he wanted to be a filmmaker. Since childhood, he used to write scripts, imagine stories, and record homemade scenes on an old camcorder. But slowly, that camera collected dust, and the script pages stayed in his drawer, untouched. Why? Because he needed to be responsible. Because he had bills. Because art isn't practical. One night, Daniel was at his office. He looked up at the screen and realized something terrifying. He had spent more time debugging code than building his actual life. In that moment, something cracked. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in a quiet, honest one. He said to himself, "If I died next week, would I be okay with how I lived?" The answer was a brutal no. That night, he stayed up writing. The next morning, he submitted his short film script to a contest. It didn't win, but it didn't have to, because Daniel had finally chosen movement over regret. And if Daniel's story made you pause, this next truth might be the voice you've been avoiding. There's a voice inside you that speaks before logic, before fear, before shame, before society's checklist. It whispers, do the thing, start the page, say the truth, walk away, try again. Most people ignore that voice. They drown it out with entertainment, comfort, and noise. They call it unrealistic. They say, not right now. They say, what will people think? But do you know what hurts the most? It's not the mistakes. It's not the failures. It's that we knew better, but didn't listen. We knew what we wanted, and we still chose the script. The voice inside you, it's not loud. It doesn't shout. It waits. But it won't wait forever. Imagine this. You're on your deathbed. No more tomorrows, no more next years, no more someday. Your younger self walks in, eyes full of fire, hands full of dreams. He looks at you and asks, did we do it? Did we chase it? Did we live it? What will you say? Will you tell him you were too busy? That you were afraid of what your friends would say? That comfort mattered more than calling? Will you look him in the eye and say, no, I buried you? Because most people aren't scared of dying. They're scared of dying without having lived. Here's the truth most systems don't want you to hear. You don't need permission to begin. You don't need to wait for clarity. You don't need every step figured out. You just need to take one step today. Because action creates clarity and movement kills fear. You don't become confident first, you become committed. Commit to your dream even if your voice shakes, even if no one claps, even if you failed the first 10 times. Most people stay broke, not in their wallet, but in their soul, because they wait to feel ready. Let them wait. You go build. You know that dream that keeps haunting you. It's not random. It's your soul showing you what you could be. And every day you delay it, the fire gets dimmer, the road gets colder, the regret gets louder. The dream won't always wait, but your excuses will. So choose, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because most people will die full of dreams, but you're not most people. Story number 4, Emma's Silent Dream. Emma didn't grow up quiet. The world just taught her to stay silent. Emma was the quiet one. In school, she never raised her hand. In meetings, she let others speak first. At home, she kept her dreams to herself. But what no one saw was her journals, page after page, poems, sketches, business ideas, even an entire plan for a fashion brand. She never showed anyone, not because she didn't believe in them, but because she didn't believe in herself. Her parents told her, be realistic, just get a safe job, don't dream too big. And she listened for 12 years, until the day her mother passed away suddenly. No warning, no goodbye, just gone. That night, Emma found her mother's old diary. It was filled with ideas, dreams, unfinished stories. That's when it hit her. Her mother had died full of dreams, and she was on the same path. Emma made a decision to publish her poetry, to open that online store, to speak out loud, not for fame, not for applause, but because her silence had become a prison. Today, her designs are worn in over 20 countries. But more importantly, she's finally free. Let me remind you of something you've always known, deep down. Look back at your childhood, before fear, before bills, before shame. What did you love doing just for the joy of it? That was your spark. You were born with fire, but the world poured water on it drop by drop. You're not good enough. You'll never make money with that. That's not practical. So you buried your dream, to fit in, to survive, to be accepted. But here's the truth. Your dream never died. It's just waiting for you to be brave again. Not perfect, not fearless, just brave. Now here's how most people unknowingly destroy their own dreams. There are 5 invisible ways people destroy their dreams. 1. Waiting for perfect timing. There is no perfect timing. Life will always be messy. 2. Needing external validation. If you require applause to start, you'll never make it through the silence. 3. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20. You don't need to be ahead, you just need to begin. 4. Thinking too small to avoid disappointment. Dreaming small won't protect you. It'll slowly kill you. 5. Surrounding yourself with dreamless people. Be careful. Their doubt is contagious. If you want to live full of life, you must protect your dream like it's sacred, because it is. Let me tell you a real story that might change the way you live. In a hospital in Australia, a nurse named Bronnie documented the top regrets of dying patients. Do you know what the #1 regret was? I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Not, I wish I had more money. Not, I wish I worked more. But, I wish I had lived my life. Let that sink in, because one day your name will be on that bed, and all the excuses you made, they won't comfort you. Only your courage will. Now let's shift your perspective in fear. Fear isn't there to stop you. It's there to show you what matters. You don't fear what's meaningless. You fear what's meaningful. That dream, that idea, that risk. You fear it because your soul knows it could change everything. So, instead of running from fear, use it. Fear is fuel if you learn how to burn it right. And before we close, there's one truth you need to hear. You've been waiting for someone to believe in you. Here I am, telling you, you are the one, not them. Not someday. You, right now. You are the one to break the cycle. You are the one to prove it's possible. You are the one who turns the dream into legacy, but only if you decide. Don't die full of dreams. Die empty. Empty of doubt. Empty of regret. Empty because you used it all. Story number 5. The pianist who never played. He gave up his gift to earn approval and lost himself for 18 years. But one night, a single song brought him back to life. Derek was 8 years old when he first touched a piano. He didn't learn notes the traditional way. He just played what he felt. By 10, he could hear a song once and replay it with near perfection. No lessons, no teacher, just instinct. His dream to compose for films, to make people feel something real. But his father had other plans. Music is a hobby. Real men become engineers, he'd say. And out of fear of losing love, Derek obeyed. He studied math, then computers, then coding. He got hired, promoted, then trapped. Years passed. The piano stayed in the attic. Until one night after a long shift, he walked into a bar where a local jazz band was playing. He sat alone, drink in hand, just listening. Then the band leader said, "We're taking a break. Anyone here want to jump on stage?" His hands began to sweat. His heart pounded. He hadn't touched a piano in over 18 years, but something called him. He walked up, trembling, and when his fingers touched the keys, the room stopped. Silence, then emotion, then tears. That night, Derek didn't just play music. He remembered himself, and he made a vow. Never again will I abandon my dream just to be accepted. Today, Derek plays every week. He's not rich, he's not famous, but he's alive. Life lesson. Why most dreams die quietly. Let's go deeper. Here's what nobody tells you. Most people aren't failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they're exhausted from living someone else's life. You go to a job that numbs your soul. You stay in friendships that drain your light. You scroll for hours because it's easier than facing your calling. We live in a world where silence feels awkward. Passion is labeled unrealistic, and comfort is worshipped like a god. But dreams aren't born in comfort. They're born in chaos, in loneliness, in late nights and early mornings. Here's a raw truth. The more your dream scares you, the more it matters. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're just too distracted. Focus is the new freedom. Cut the noise. Burn the fake version of yourself and rise. Let me show you the 4 silent killers that are quietly murdering your dreams and how to defeat them before it's too late. If you want to die empty, not full of regrets, you need to defeat 4 silent killers. 1. The opinion trap. You really think you can make a living from that? Most people project their own limitations on you. Don't borrow their fear. 2. Perfectionism. You'll never feel ready. Start before you're ready. Mastery comes from momentum. 3. Emotional safety addiction. If you only chase what's emotionally comfortable, you'll never grow. Fear is your compass. 4. Overthinking. Dreams die not from failure, but from paralysis. Clarity comes from action. Move. And if you've ever felt broken, like you've wasted too much time, this part is for you. There was a man who dreamed of becoming a novelist. He had the story outlined, characters imagined, plot crafted. But he kept saying, next year, when the kids grow up, once things settle. One day, he got sick. Doctors said he had 8 months left. He opened the same laptop that sat unused for years. But now, his hands shook. His mind was foggy, and regret swallowed him whole. He didn't die from illness. He died from delay. Before we move into part 2, I want to leave you with one final truth, one that could change everything if you let it in. Maybe you failed. Maybe they laughed. Maybe you've lost years. But hear this: you are not too broken to begin. You are not too far gone to return. And your dream is not too late to live. This world doesn't need more perfection. It needs people like you. Scarred, honest, courageous. Start messy, start scared, start real, but just start. You've made it this far in the video for a reason. Because deep inside, you know there's more for you. Not more things, more meaning. You were born for more than existing. You were born to ignite. And if you don't act on your dream, someone else will live a quieter life. Because your light never reached them. So please, don't die with your song still inside you. Let it out loud, messy, true. You've got one shot. Make it echo. Story number 6. The Cafe Dreamer. She shelved her soul to serve lattes until one stranger's words brought her dream back to life. Nina worked at a small cafe in the city. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., she opened the shutters, brewed the first pot, and watched as the streets came alive. But it wasn't the coffee she cared about. It was the notebook under the counter. Between orders, she wrote poems, stories, letters to a version of herself she barely believed in anymore. She once dreamed of becoming a writer, of moving to Paris, of sipping espresso in small corners of the world while writing words that healed people. But dreams, she thought, were for people with time, with support, with backup plans. And so she served lattes and shelved her soul. One day, a customer named Elise left a note with her tip. You don't just make coffee, you make people feel seen. If you're ever brave enough to share your words, I'll be your first reader, Nina cried behind the counter that day. 2 weeks later, she submitted her first short story to a magazine. It got rejected. Then another and another. But on the 6th try it got published. That was the start. Today, Nina doesn't work at the cafe. She owns it. And behind every menu is a new page of her poetry. Not because she had it all figured out, but because someone believed in her before she did. Most people won't understand your dream, but that doesn't mean it's not worth chasing. Here's the truth about the lonely road to becoming who you're meant to be. Here's a truth most won't tell you. The path to your dream is lonely. Not because others don't care, but because they won't understand. You'll outgrow people who were never meant to grow with you. You'll feel the sting of being unseen, and you'll question yourself 100 times. But listen, solitude isn't punishment, it's preparation. Rejection isn't the end, it's redirection. Doubt isn't weakness, it's proof that your dream is real. You don't need a crowd, you just need courage. And the faith to believe that what lives inside you is worth birthing into the world. Even if nobody claps, even if no one shares your post, even if it takes years. Your dream is not foolish, your effort is not wasted, your becoming is the reward. Dreams don't work without a plan. Here's a simple 5-step framework to take your dream out of your head and into the world. Let's get real. Dreams don't become reality with motivation alone. They need structure. Here's a 5-step framework to make it real. 1. Dream audit. Write down your wildest dream. No filters. Then ask, if I died today, would I regret not doing this? 2. Reverse engineer. Break it down into a 1-year goal, then into 12 monthly milestones, then into weekly steps. 3. Micro start. Don't wait for the perfect setup. Do the smallest version of your dream today. Write 1 paragraph, record 1 minute, sketch 1 idea. 4. Accountability partner. Find 1 person who will check in weekly. No cheerleaders. You need someone honest. 5. Public declaration. Tell the world, not to seek approval, but to burn the bridge behind you, so there's no turning back. Dreams die in silence, but they awaken in action. Start, build, share, repeat. He created in silence, but the world never heard him. This is the story of a man who died full of unshared brilliance. There was a man who painted in secret. Every evening after work, he'd lock himself in a dusty garage and paint until midnight. He never showed anyone, not his wife, not his kids, not even his friends. He feared judgment, rejection, failure, but deep down, he painted because it was the only time he felt alive. Years passed, he grew old. His garage gathered dust. Then one day, he died. His daughter, while cleaning out the garage, found over 200 paintings, breathtaking, raw, alive. She hosted an exhibition in his honor. The city came, collectors offered thousands, but the man was gone. He died full of art that the world never got to see. Don't be him. These aren't just truths, they're wake-up calls. No fluff, just the raw, painful reminders we try to ignore. Let these words land deep. Most people don't need more time. They need more truth. Here it is. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. If you need permission, you'll never move. If you want comfort, your dream will remain a wish. And here's the most brutal truth. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your partner, not your mentor. It's you. Always has been. You've been waiting for a sign. This is it. Go. He had nothing left except a melody, and that melody changed everything. Carlos lived in his car. He'd lost his job, lost his apartment, had no money left, but he still had his guitar. Every day, he'd sit on a street corner and play, not for money, but for sanity. One day, a woman stopped and listened for nearly an hour. She dropped a note in his case. I run a small recording studio. I don't know your story, but your music saved my day. If you ever want to record, here's my card. Carlos stared at it for hours. He almost didn't call, but something in him knew this was the door. 3 months later, his first song dropped. It went viral. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. Carlos now mentors young musicians who live on the edge like he once did. He says, "My rock bottom became the foundation of someone else's dream, but only because I refused to quit playing." Before you scroll away, listen, this one's not a story, it's a mirror. If you're still here, you feel it, don't you? That fire, that ache, that quiet whisper inside that says, there's more for you. And it's right. You were not born to fit in a box. You were born to build your own, to shatter silence, to speak truth, to dream loud. Because if you don't, you won't just fail yourself. You'll rob the world of the one thing only you were meant to create. And no matter how small you feel, your dream has a name, your gift has a place, and your voice still matters. Don't let it die inside you. Let's rise. The Distraction Epidemic. How dreams get silently buried. Most people don't give up on their dreams. They drift away from them, not with a scream, but with silence. It starts small. One missed day, one postponed idea, one late-night scroll that turns into 2 hours of meaningless noise. And just like that, your dream gets buried, not under failure, but under comfort. See, the enemy of greatness isn't just failure, it's distraction. You were born with a fire, but the world throws water on it, one harmless dopamine hit at a time. Social media, cheap entertainment, notifications that feel urgent but mean nothing. We've become so overstimulated that silence feels uncomfortable. Focus feels like punishment, and depth, it's rare, almost extinct. That's how most dreams die now, not because we weren't capable, but because we couldn't sit with boredom long enough to build something real. You're not lazy, you're just surrounded by a world designed to keep you numb. Napoleon Hill said, "An idle mind is the devil's workshop." But in today's world, an idle scroll is the dream killer's playground. If you don't protect your focus like your future depends on it, you'll lose both. The Man Who Woke Up at 47, a true story of redemption. His name was Ray. For 25 years, Ray worked at the same job, every morning, same alarm, same route, same coffee, same silence. But inside, he always had a different life in mind. He wanted to be a writer. He dreamed of telling stories that moved people, stories that healed broken hearts, inspired the tired, gave hope to the quiet ones. But life got in the way. Bills, kids, responsibilities, and the most dangerous excuse of all, there's still time. But time doesn't warn you, it just slips. Ray turned 47. His kids were grown, his marriage was routine, his soul was restless. One night, sitting in his parked car after a long day, he whispered, "Is this it? Is this all I get?" That night changed everything. He went home, took out his old laptop, opened a blank document, and typed, "I'm starting late, but I'm still starting." He committed to writing 500 words a day, rain or shine, tired or not, even if no one read it. In 2 years, he published his first book. It didn't hit the bestseller list, but it hit something far deeper, his soul. Because, for the first time in 25 years, Ray was alive again. He didn't die with his story still inside him. And because of that, thousands of people found strength in his words. This story isn't just about Ray, it's about you. It's about the fact that starting late is better than dying silent. What Napoleon Hill meant by definiteness of purpose, and why it's life or death. Napoleon Hill said, "There is one quality that one must possess to win definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants and a burning desire to possess it." It sounds simple, but let's be honest, most people never get clear. They float through life like driftwood, moving wherever the current takes them. They don't build a life, they inherit one. A job someone else offered, beliefs someone else taught, a dream someone else said was realistic. But here's what Hill discovered after studying 25,000 men and women. The ones who succeeded massively all had one thing in common: clarity. Not vague goals like, I want to be rich, I want to be happy, I want to help people. That's wishful thinking. Real clarity sounds like, I will earn $250,000 a year by building a personal finance brand for single moms. Or I will lose 50 pounds in 6 months by waking up at 5 a.m., meal prepping, and hiring a coach. Definiteness of purpose means you know exactly what you want, you know why you want it, and you burn every bridge that leads back to your comfort zone. Hill wasn't just offering good advice, he was handing you the ignition key to your life. Most people never turn it. They wait for permission. They seek external validation. They chase 10 different goals at once and end up with none. But once you get definite, you stop chasing and you start becoming. Let this sink in. The world has the habit of making room for the man whose words and actions show that he knows where he is going. Napoleon Hill, the moment you get truly clear, the universe starts to rearrange. Opportunities appear, people align, doors open, but only for the one who knows what they want, and walks like it's already theirs. From dreaming to doing, a step-by-step blueprint inspired by Napoleon Hill. Now that you understand the why, let's talk about the how, because dreams don't come true through magic. They come true through clarity, consistency, and obsession. Here's the exact blueprint, the same one Hill extracted from the minds of history's most successful people. Step 1. Decide what you truly want. Not what your parents want, not what society wants, not what's realistic. Get quiet, write it down, make it specific, make it emotional, make it non-negotiable. Step 2. Write a clear statement of purpose, Hill said. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Determine what you will give in return. Set a definite date. Create a clear plan. This isn't a wish list, it's your battle plan. Example: I will earn $10,000 month by December 1st, 2025 by selling my online fitness coaching. I will work 3 hours daily, post content 5 times a week, and close 10 clients a month. Step 3. Read your statement aloud, twice a day, morning and night. You're not just reading it, you're reprogramming your subconscious. Your mind becomes what you repeat. And most people keep repeating failure without realizing it. This is your mental gym. Show up daily. Step 4. Surround yourself with fire. You can't win the war with soldiers who want peace. Audit your circle. Are they dreamers or drifters? Start following people with obsession in their eyes. Listen to voices that ignite your drive. Not sedated. This video, it's one of them. Step 5. Take relentless, imperfect action. The perfect plan is useless without execution. Don't wait for confidence. Build it through movement. Launch that product. Apply for that job. Make that scary post. Motion kills fear. Step 6. Burn the ships. This is not a hobby. It's your future. Stop saying, I'll try. Start saying, I will. Don't give yourself a plan B that lets you stay average. Step 7. Persist until it's yours. Failure isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign to sharpen. Every setback is feedback. Every no is redirecting you to a better yes. Keep showing up. Keep pushing. Because success doesn't respond to the talented. It responds to the relentless. Don't die with it still in you. Final emotional climax plus CTA. Let me leave you with this. Most people will die full of dreams, books they never wrote, businesses they never started, love they never expressed, talents they buried under fear and routine. Not because they weren't capable, but because they waited. They waited for the right time, waited for approval, waited until they felt ready. And one day, time ran out, but you're still breathing, you still can. That dream you've been carrying, it's not random. It's a glimpse of who you're meant to become. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to begin. Take the first imperfect step. Write the first messy page. Launch the broken version. Say the words you've been afraid to say. Because regret doesn't hurt now, it hurts later. When the window has closed and your soul remembers what you could have been. There's a fire inside you that you've been hiding, but I see it. I feel it. You are more than your mistakes. You are more than your paycheck. You are more than your fear. You were born to build, to impact, to rise. So don't waste another minute. If you're the kind of person who refuses to die full of dreams, stick around. Subscribe to True Lines Insight, because this isn't just another motivational channel. It's a movement, a war against mediocrity, a daily reminder that you were made for more. And together, we're not just dreaming anymore. We're doing, we're building, we're becoming. Welcome to the rise.